The movie you're making me watch today is Bones and All, directed by Jake.
Luca Guadagnino?
That's how I would
Sounds
say
right.
it.
Sounds right.
Guadagnino?
Starring Timothy Chalamet and who's the girl?
That girl is named Taylor Russell.
She was great. I thought acting was top notch in this. Probably the best part of this movie.
I thought she was awesome too. Actually, she was in another movie called Waves, which she was really good in. It's like a family drama, but
movie.
she kills it in both those movies.
I think acting
does.
was top notch. I think there was one actor in this movie who was total dog shit. Do you know who it is?
David Gordon Green.
DGG? No. Who did he play?
He played the cannibal that wasn't a cannibal, or that wasn't like
I
eater.
just tried it out.
They
He was
prefer
the
eaters.
buddy's friend. Yeah, he was the cannibal that wasn't an eater.
Yeah.
He was like the homie of the one guy.
He was the cop.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was the cop.
that was David Gordon Green.
No, he was great. It was the
Mildly
sister,
acclaimed director.
Kayla, the sister. Good God.
Ah.
She came in the house just acting like she was first year drama student, and it was just awful. Couldn't wait to see her braids get cut off. You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink.
Yeah, I mean they had some top name actors, and I have no idea who that girl was, but they have some good people in here for sure. Great cast all around.
Great cast.
characters. This movie's driven by their characters. You know what I mean? Like there's a couple scenes with Mark Rylance that are absolutely perfect. That first scene with him,
Yeah.
when she first encounters her,
Is
is
that
the best
Sullivan?
scene in the fucking movie.
Sully, yeah.
Yo,
So
he was
good. So
he's
good.
creepy. When he's walking up, he just walks up and he's
Yeah.
like, I
Yeah.
smelled you a mile away.
Yeah, that's the best scene in the whole movie.
Who
That
is
whole-
this
that
guy?
whole thing.
What else has this guy been in?
He won an Oscar for
films.
fucking Bridge of Spies, that Spielberg movie that
Yeah.
came out a few years back. But he's actually a very world-renowned stage actor. He's got like 3 Tony Awards. He's like actually a legend of the stage.
You've seen Don't Look Up. We've watched Don't Look Up on the podcast. He's
in
the
that too.
billionaire guy, that like crazy billionaire guy that was
Oh yeah,
like kind of pulling
Kinda
the
the
strings
hot-
and Don't Look Up.
high voice dude,
Yeah.
right?
He always does that weirdness
Yeah.
with his voice, which he
Yeah.
pulls off pretty
Hey,
well.
guys.
He's my favorite character in this movie. He's my favorite part of this movie, and every scene he's in, I thought was really, really fucking weird and disturbing,
Yeah.
and off-putting, which was great.
He brings a vibe for sure.
Yeah.
He was creepy as fuck.
She as an actor fucking gives it back though 100%. She's a great actor. She kills it. I'd love to
She's
work with
good.
her, man. She's
Yeah.
really fucking good.
Hopefully she's got some more stuff coming out.
Yeah, she's got a TV show coming out. I saw.
And this Timothy Chalamet kid.
Yeah. Also in
Timmy's good.
Also
Timmy's a
in
good
that
guy.
movie you were just talking about.
Don't look up it, and I felt like he was a similar character, oddly enough. Like he had this like the energy, like the don't give a fuck attitude, even though it was like a different era. But it just they had, I watched Don't Look Up like a week ago, and they just kind of had a similar feel to them.
Very sim.
Yeah, kind of obnoxious in their own ways, but
You got a you got a shmaiku, Jake?
yeah, dude, I got a haiku.
You got a haiku for the maiku?
Oh yeah, let me pull her up.
Pull her up, baby.
All right, you ready? You ready for this one?
I'm waiting.
Deadly appetites, on the run and born this way, hungry to be loved.
Hungry.
Ooh, that's
to
a good
be
one.
loved.
Hungered to be loved. I love that. I love the hunger.
All right, I got one. Haunted love unfolds. Bones and all, their hearts laid bare. Fun take on old themes.
Nice.
I actually have the title in mine as well, which is weird.
Oh
You
yeah.
got what?
The title of the movie is also in my haiku.
Weird.
It just works really well that way.
Yeah, it's 3 syllables. It helps in any line.
Yes, very true.
Give it to us.
Actually, I don't want to hear it.
Why don't you
All
want
right.
to hear it?
Anyways,
Mute
moving
it
on.
and I'll hear
I'm
it.
kidding.
Can you text it to me?
I'll hold it up to the screen
Go ahead.
and you can read it out loud.
Or do it
Uh,
for the people.
darkness cloaks their hearts. Bones and all, love's twisted dance. Humanity's art.
You're so emo, dude.
It's so emo.
Your all your
It's
haikus
the best
bring,
one. You
bring
guys
like
suck
this hard
for that one.
emo vibe.
Even
Yeah.
Anthony's, which was similar to mine for
This
some
is
reason.
where's
It's,
your-
Poetry.
where's your
Poetry's
hard-
not a competition.
your
Why do you got to make it a
Hard
competition?
emo vibe coming from.
you know
if, you
this.
had, if you had hair, you would do this a lot.
Yeah. He's got
Imagine
it.
I
It's
said
just
that
tucked-
anyway.
it's
He'd be like,
just
what's
tucked
wrong with me?
under
It's
his-
like if I had hair, you know.
Sorry, force of habit.
Well, thanks for listening to Making Me Watch Movies.
And our haikus about bones and all.
We should do like
So
a haiku
this
thing.
this was a pretty great movie though. I mean, the first time I watched it, I enjoyed the shit out of it. The second time I watched it, I enjoyed it less because I think if you haven't seen this movie, the first time you watch it, it's pretty hard hitting at points. The whole thing with her and her mom, everything with Mark Rylance, even some things with fucking just her and him that are just so like real. They just feel like we're super real. It kind of hits hard, but it's definitely a good first viewing in my opinion. I really liked the first viewing of this one.
I agree.
20
I like it.
about 15 20 minutes too long, but it's still good.
Yeah, basically after the mom stuff, I was kind of out of it.
Really? I love the end. I thought the end was pretty perfect.
Well, we'll get to the end, but I think
But yeah.
it peaked when she met her mom. It was like, whoa.
I agree.
Maybe.
I feel like it was a little too much length after that part. That seemed to be like what they were going for. That was kind of the point of the whole road trip.
Too
is we're
much
trying to find
length.
her
I
mom.
get that complaint a lot.
And, yeah.
Oh,
And it did seem like a whole extra, maybe like a full act after that was kind of like the end of the second act. And then they kind of wrapped it up, but it took its time at some areas for sure. I agree. And I agree with what both of you were saying because I saw it a few times now as well. The
You
first
gotta
time.
go with both. You gotta go with one or the other, dude.
No, you guys.
Can't be a
But
middle.
yeah, it was definitely effective on the first watch. I think so. And
Yeah, I thought it
it's
was
a little slow,
interesting.
but it was very good. Really like this.
well, that's the thing. Like, it's a fucking straight up like Terrence Malick like love story to where like nature's a fucking character and them finding each other. Like the thing I thought was interesting about it was once she realizes she's a quote unquote eater, she realizes that they're fucking everywhere, and that was pretty interesting to me. Like all of a sudden they're just showing up in places. That was.
Tell me,
That
was
was
that little girl in Eater that she was
I
looking
think
at
so. The little one at the table, right?
on the table?
She
where
growls
was
at her.
sitting? Yeah.
Yeah, she looks like a little eater.
Little fucking.
I didn't even think
eaters.
about that.
Little eaters everywhere. She
Yeah.
when she was looking at her because they smell each other.
Right.
It kind of reminded me of a Border.
Right.
You know, in like instead of trolls with corkscrew dicks, they're just cannibals.
Scandals.
A little more closer to realisticness, I guess.
So I researched like the difference between this and the book, and supposedly the book is more like teen fiction, almost like Twilighty. And what Guadagnino brought to it was like took that out of it and made it more like artsy drama, which is perfect for him because that's kind of what he did with Suspiria as well. He like remade Suspiria and it was insane, but it was like an artsy version of it. It's artsy, even artsier than Dario Argento's version, which is pretty crazy. But the other changes he made were that like it was opposite. The mom took care of her and the dad left, and I guess he switched that. And also in the
Just
original
changing
book,
shit to change shit.
well, in their book, well, I think he liked the fact that like the father-daughter relationship instead of the mother-daughter relationship because it could be a little more separated. You know what I mean? And also, he says in the book that Timothy Chalamet never ate his dad in the book. He added that too, which was a good ad.
I like that. And I think the book was supposed to be in the 90s as well.
Is it okay? That I
Yeah,
didn't know.
I heard that about it. And
That
it
would
had,
have
like,
made the movie better because
and
it
it had
had way better in the 80s.
a longer ending, I guess. Like more, there was more to it after Lee died. I guess it kind of continued her life in college, and she like then got another boyfriend that ate that guy, and then that was kind of I think that was the end of the book. She just
dude.
almost found love, and then lost it like immediately. So it's kind of I guess it was kind of
She never really learns in the end. Huh?
a bum running of a book.
What is she supposed to learn? I think she just learned this is what she is. This is just necessity. It's almost like being a vampire. It's like if you want to survive, you got to do it. You just got to do what you got to do. I think that's what she learns. I think that's the ultimate learning experience from this.
Yeah, there's I mean this it could be viewed in a lot of different ways. Of course, there's
That's
a lot
what
of
I took from it.
there's a
I
lot
think
of
it's
symbolism
everybody
to other
around her
things,
that
of
she
course.
trusted, everybody around her that she thought she could trust is gone, and now she's
But she's met
doing her thing, learning as she goes.
every eater she's met does it a different way. Like in a way, what's his name?
Yeah.
Sully is kind of doing it in a little less. He's not murking people. He's just waiting for them to drop dead and then eating them when they die. And then there's Chalamet, who's kind of going jerking dudes off, slitting their throats when he comes, Gone Girl style, and then eating them, post coitus.
Well, he's trying to eat like
That's how I do it.
bad dudes, and
God
like, people
knows how
won't
that
be
little
missed.
girl's doing it.
Like they all seem to have some sort of code one way or another, even though clearly the two characters we meet with Sully and Lee have completely different outlooks on it. But
Yeah.
they kind of have their own like.
I mean,
rules
Sully
and
ends up
stuff.
being kind of a fucking weirdo.
Oh yeah, Sully's straight. Yeah, Sully's kind
That
of
ponytail
the villain,
whip
more or less.
was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Getting back to what I said to start the podcast though about like the paintings in the beginning, I thought that was cool because there's a lot of really really epic cinematography, and that's what kind of like is in the middle of all these like crazy scenes is just these long epic shots of people hugging and kissing. That's why I compared it to like a Terrence Malick fucking movie. But it was cool to see the contrast to that. Like it was all painted, then you saw the real thing. I thought that was just cool, just a cool thing.
Because that were all paintings of like the countryside that they were driving through, right? That was
Yeah,
kinda
yeah.
Just a little foreshadow of that. Yeah, I watched
way
the
to do it.
movie. I kind of gave it a score, and then I watched it again, and then I upped the cinematography score because cinematography is pretty epic in this movie.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Cannibals, take
Cannibals.
it away, Jake.
Yeah,
It's
cannibal love story.
It's
Yes.
a 80s cannibal
It's
road
kind of a
trip
coming
love
of
story.
age.
Yeah, it's coming of age. It starts with a horror vibe, which is start from the beginning. It kind of has, to me at least, it has an ominous vibe because it kind of just following this girl. She's in high school. She gets home. Well, she's talking to friends and stuff like that. One friend invites them over. She gets home and she's like, "Oh, I won't be able to go out because my dad won't let me out." Gets locked in her room. She sneaks out, then goes to the friend's house anyway. We don't know what's going on at this point, and it almost seems like she's about to like
hold
make
on,
out.
hold on. There's more to it than that. Like, hold on a second though. Before she sneaks out, there's a few things that happen, which is one, she steals a screwdriver to. You're like, I wonder what that's about. And then when she goes into her room, her dad locks her room door from the outside.
Yeah, and sleeps in the
in the couch. Yeah, and she takes the screwdriver to sneak out, and she unscrews a screw from the window. So obviously her dad put that screw in the window too to keep it from opening. So right away there's little signs of something a little is off right here.
Yeah, this bitch.
I think that's important. That's important. When he locks that door, I was like if I didn't see the trailer for this movie, I'd be like, what the fuck's that about? That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's good to not see this trailer because I think if I'm not mistaken, doesn't this first bite happen in the trailer?
Yeah.
Which is bullshit because that was like, to me, that was the biggest jump scare. I mean, the movie's not like full of jump scares or anything, but that was a great jump scare in my opinion.
Well, because you think they're about to les out, and then you're like, oh
shit,
off
her like skin,
and then you're like, oh shit,
shit,
she's just gonna like suck on her finger. That's still kind of hot, and then she bites it like hard.
Mm-hmm. She does it like a fucking buffalo, and we just scoop the fucking meat off, and the bone's still there. That's what she did.
There's some pretty graphic eating scenes after Chalamet jerks that dude off and starts eating him. That was the only part of the movie that I found myself going like this. Ooh,
like you were like hard.
I was rock hard. I am right now too. But I was when he ate. He like started at his chest. Like took this chunk. He bit this chunk out of his chest. I don't know. It could have been CG, but
the first shot of the old guy eating the old woman is pretty crazy too, because she comes around the corner and you see him in his tighty whities, and then he just like takes a bite out of her abdomen and like looks at her, and then she just walks around and fucking starts biting her hand. That shit was gross.
She doesn't freak out or anything. You're kind of just like, well, how is she gonna react to this? And she just sits down and goes in for it.
All right, Jake, continue.
So
she sneaks out. She goes to hang out at this girl's house.
I would not want to eat old lady though. I would want like the veal of human being. I'd be eating like college athletes.
Listen, I thought about that, and I think in this movie it doesn't matter because they don't ever talk about that. So I think all of it's the same. That was my conclusion about that, because I was like, why do they always eat in like these older or whatever people? But I think in the movie, it is what it is. I don't think there's a difference. That's my opinion.
I'm sure there's an eater out there that's like, well, I should probably eat the healthiest person.
I mean, if this was a TV show, there'd be some vegan-esque eaters for sure.
Yeah, exactly, for sure. It'd be like, that person looks like they eat clean, they're vegan. I'm gonna go for that one because they just have better.
Excuse me,
it's better this way.
All the best food that we eat are all vegetarians and vegans, cows and shit.
Yeah,
you know, you're not people generally aren't out there eating like leopards.
Right.
That's a cat, man. It's a feline. That's disgusting.
Because they eat like a lot of meat. Probably gross.
But yeah,
Freddie said he went to India and was eating tarantulas. He said it was disgusting.
Like fried tarantula?
Yeah, fried tarantula. He said that like because he was on Amazing Race and he met all these people there, and they were like, yeah, you're the new guy. You gotta do something crazy. And they were in fucking India, I think, and he ate like 3 of them.
Damn! Shout out to Freddie. 3. That probably means half of one.
No, his story was that like all these people came and like didn't believe him, so he had to keep doing it. And then Paul Bruno was the last one to show up, and he was like, I didn't see it, so he made him do it.
It's a good story.
Yeah.
Shout out to Freddie
and Paul Bruno.
You know what? Especially Paul Bruno.
All right, Jake, continue.
Yeah, jeez, come on.
Alrighty then. So she bites a girl's finger off at the party and runs home.
Hold on though. Before that,
of course.
Then hold on though. But wait, there's themes that were themes here. There's themes that were missing. Not only are we missing the theme of her being a weirdo with her dad, but this is also the first theme of her and this girl. Are they gonna hook up? Like, are they attracted to each other? These are young girls. They're like 14, 15-year-old girls. You know what I mean? Like,
nope, they are 18.
Exploring.
16.
Oh yeah, you're right. They're 18.
I think she's 16 or 17. I don't think she's 18 yet. She lies.
She said she is 18.
She says she's 18 to a couple people, but I think she's lying.
I thought she shows the lady your birth certificate.
She turned 18 when the dad left. The dad left on her 18th birthday.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because that's why she had the birth certificate and gave it to the bus lady.
It was 18.
Yeah,
anyway, point is that like they're figuring out who the fuck they are. So that's with all this dude's movies, Luca Guadagnino or whatever his fucking name is, he always has the element of like sexuality and sexuality and sensuality and all kinds of shit in his movies, and that's
all the alities.
big thing. everything. A lot of alities with this guy.
A lot of dualities.
Duality, reality.
There's a commonality between all his movies.
All right, Jake, continue.
Well, do we want to go into those themes, or should I continue with the story and then you'll interrupt me when you want to hit
the themes are.
I think you should know when you should mention some themes. So I think I wouldn't have to mention if you did.
All right, fine.
Hey.
Like clearly, this is a metaphor for a lot of things.
A lot of
things.
This is a metaphor
for.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's clearly a metaphor for like drug addiction, but I think knowing Luda Guadagnino's background, it's clearly about homosexuality, specifically in the 80s.
Those are the two things I wrote down.
Yeah.
Not necessarily homosexuality, just like self-discovery in maybe she in a sexual manner. Maybe she is, maybe she's not, maybe she's.
Because there are scenes like leaning toward that both. I mean, despite there's like a love story with the two main characters, there's clear scenes of them being possibly like sexually fluid because it looks like she's about to hook up with this girl under the table.
Super fluid.
It's right there. And then later we'll see Timothy Chalamet jerking off a dude basically to completion. He didn't have to go that far. He could have he should have killed him way before that. But
he gone-girled him. He gone-girled him. He gone-girled that motherfucker.
Great. I mean, it's nice of him to do that.
It was nice. Yeah,
At least give him one more. Smiling on the way out. Yeah.
Give him one more.
And the blood was fresh and
could have killed him.
I would eat the dick first.
Oh, you think that's why he did it? So he can get like all the blood
pumping? You gotta eat the dick first, dude. All the blood's in the dick.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought about that when at the end. I thought about that at the end when he was dying and he was like, "Eat me." I was like, "You gonna eat his dick first?" Like give him one more. He's dying right now, dude. Right. He's still human.
So Chalamet, sweet guy. He's got a code.
He's a sweet boy.
Jerk him off and kill him.
Yeah, and stealing trucks is not against his code.
No. Well, if the person's dead, is it really stealing?
Yes.
Jerk him off and kill him.
Black Widow style, dude.
It still doesn't belong to him.
All right. Well,
even if he jerks him off, it's not like he gets half of his estate now. Right. You know how many people I'd have to give my estate to?
How many dudes? Chops, Georgie.
Like a random background of 10 people just living in your side room. Like, we just own this place too.
Just because we jerked him off once. All right, continue. You jerk Anthony off once, you get half his shit.
Yeah.
But you get half of anyways, let's just continue.
Everyone has a code, and that's Anthony's code. Good for him.
So she ain't got no mom. She got a dad who sucks.
Yeah.
She's jerking off dudes. Or no.
So she eats. So she almost hooks up with the girl, and then instead she just bites her finger off and runs home. Dad's like, oh shit. Kind of seems to have some sort of understanding of what's going on. He's like,
he knows.
We got to get the fuck out of here. And they get the fuck out of there. And it cuts to I think it's a couple weeks later, it implies.
Something like that. It says May, but it never said a month in the first one.
Did it not? Okay.
I couldn't remember because I rewound it. I was trying to keep a track of the dates. It kept showing the cities,
state code,
or the states, but the first one it showed it was Virginia, and then it didn't have a date, and then the second one was maybe the date was shown in the scene somehow. I don't know. Yeah. That was probably it. Yeah. It was June. Maybe they're just graduating.
Well, either way.
Now it's May.
Now it's May. It's gonna be May.
What a day. What do you say?
Well, so they peace out of there and they start a new life somewhere else, and Dad leaves. But Dad leaves a tape recorded tape. A Walkman?
Yeah.
A Walkman tape.
Pretty sure it's
device.
the one Marty McFly has.
Yeah. And an envelope, I think, full of some cash and the birth certificate.
$60, which was kind of a letdown.
Not much, yeah. It's probably all he had. He's been moving out of the country because this chick's fucking eating people.
He ain't a bank robber. He a daddy.
And because of the birth certificate, it shows information about her mother, where she's from, somewhere in Montana, I believe is what it was. And so she gets
Maine.
I think Montana, because they go through the whole Midwest, Western region to Montana.
Yeah, no, I have a list of all the states they went through.
Yeah,
I mapped it out.
I did.
Have the route.
I did. And if you look behind me, I'm just kidding.
I'd be rad if you did put in the work.
Yeah, I put in some work.
They go.
This is the road trip.
This is where they went.
She doesn't have enough cash to get all where she needs to go, so so she decides to go to a certain port. I think it's Columbus, Ohio, and then she meets fucking that night as she's waiting for the bus. She meets Sully, which is this fucking old dude who looks like he's a used car salesman who just went fishing and now he's coming to hang out with you. It's like,
yeah, he's wearing
insane.
like a suit with medals and fishing lures and
fly
shit on
fishing
it.
lures and shit. Yeah, it's
and he's
insane.
got
a
the
bandana on, I'm
underneath
pretty
it.
sure too.
He's got like a bandana and a hat with a ponytail. This guy's insane.
Pretty great. He looks like he's like the
cap.
ringleader of a circus, to be honest. That's his day job.
And he sounds like the guy that's always trying to lure what's his name?
Yeah,
Chris.
Popsicles.
Yeah, I just want to see where the paper boy is.
Sully's got popsicles.
And he's talking, and he always talks to himself in the third person.
Yes, which he doesn't do at first. I don't think he does it at first. It's not till the second.
Why does he do
that,
it?
I think.
No, he does it.
I think
he does it the very first time. Yeah, because he like reaches in. He was like, Sully found these Cornish game hens.
Oh, okay. So that scene to me is that whole scene from the minute that she sees him till the end of that scene is the best part of the movie, hands down. Just because of how it just abruptly comes on and how like interesting of a character he is.
Yeah, he
it's
comes
so
out of the
interesting and
darkness.
strange.
Says he smells her, and he's just like, "Come on, follow me. We got some shit to do. I got something to tell you."
Yeah, she thinks he's there to fucking rape her and fucking kill her, so she doesn't. She tries not to fucking be any part of it, and then he tells her that he can smell her because she's an eater, and she gets it right there. And she's just like, "Oh shit!" So
and she doesn't know anybody. She thought she was the only one. She thinks that she's the only one. She's alone in her world. You know, she doesn't know anybody else like her. Finally, she meets someone like, so she's gonna take that. She's gonna take that little walk with him because.
Well, what I like is that she thinks it
more.
over. She thinks this girl's pretty smart. She grabs the rock. She doesn't necessarily go until she knows that it could benefit her somehow by going with this guy. You know what I mean? Like she definitely does it in a way of the most probably secure way she could have. You know what I mean?
She's no dummy.
Yeah, she's got a clear creepo.
Oh yeah.
Super weird vibes. Super nice guy. Nice hair.
Some great kisser.
I like his fashion sense, but it might not be for everybody.
He does. He looks like a German, remember that dude we met in Germany by the boats, and he had like a green fucking plaid suit on. He looked like a leprechaun. He was like, "Hello, mates."
No, that was
the actual leprechaun.
The only guy I remember being by the boats was Gunarf Gnab. Gunarf Gnab's the boat guy.
Yeah, that guy was wild.
Frank Bang, baby.
Shout out to Frank Bang. Oh, no way.
He's dead?
No, you said R.I.P.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it, so I said it first.
No, he's not dead.
What? So you believed yourself? Believed your
That was awkward.
joke?
I just tried to think of the weirdest thing to say.
So yeah, he gives her advice. This guy Sullivan.
Well, he tells her that she's not alone and that like there's ways of doing things. And I think that she's interested, like you said, because she's felt like she was alone until this moment.
She didn't
know.
The
first time she learns about it, like that he mentions like as you get older, the hunger increases, and I feel like there's implications to like the fact that she just turned 18, so it's like now it's kind of on.
Yeah, because she said she doesn't really remember it, right? She said she knew that there were some cases in the past where she did some crazy shit, but in the beginning it seemed like that was just happening all the time.
Yeah, the way the dad was handling it seemed like it was a normal thing, and that
she's just like, oh,
may or may not have been aware.
Because the dad was handling it like he had no idea what the fuck to do because he didn't. The mom just bounced because of it, and she was doing it herself, obviously. But like, what's the dad supposed to do? Like, he protected her, but there was nothing he can do to like. I think when she did that, that was the first time she's done it in a while, right? You agree with that? Like, it's been years since she did that shit, right?
Yeah, seems like that. Yeah, I think she says that.
It seemed like she must have known about it though, because she was locked up, and it didn't seem like there was a problem with that. She kind of it was just part of her life when she was getting locked up by her dad.
All right, so there's some plot holes in the story. It's fine.
Maybe we just don't see it as clearly.
No, I don't think it's plot holes. I just think that like there's a history of it. Like when something happens when you're a kid, whether like that you do and your parents don't want people to know about it, like there's certain things that just are like unspoken, but you know not to talk about it, but there's just something about it. And obviously when you get old enough to realize who you are, which is probably around like 17 years old, where you're kind of like, well, at least I know like who I want to be or who I aspire to be at least. And
that's about when I stopped wetting the bed, and my parents didn't want to tell anybody about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a plot hole per se.
Yeah, but now she just seems more fully aware of the situation and the fact fact that she meets Sully clearly makes that more real, I'd assume.
So basically, Sully smelt this old lady who was dying in her house, right? And he decided to go to the house and eat her. That's how Sully got there.
Yeah, it seemed to be the case.
It was not his house. He brought her in. He said, "You'll know." He's basically teaching her how to be as she is. Because he knows he's been doing it for a while, and he was telling her that she can smell things. She's saying he's teaching her how to smell dying people and how to smell. Did she ever? It seemed like she smelt when she died.
What do you mean?
Because she was like, "Oh no, she's dying. We got to get her help." And he was like, "No, we can't get her help. We're not gonna kill her." He's like, "You don't want to eat her now. We'll eat her when she dies. You'll smell it. You'll smell it when she dies." And she wakes up. She smells like fucking like Sully's cooking bacon over there.
Yeah, I think so.
And they go and munch on her. So he gives her a little advice. He also tells her not to hang out with other eaters.
Yeah, what did he say about that?
He just said it's dangerous for other people, but he said like we can stab you too or something. Which I think he says we can stab you too. Which kind of
foreshadowing.
Huh? Shut up, man.
Sally foreshadows.
Oh, Sully, land on the Hudson for me.
So anyway, he brings her in. They both eat this fucking. She falls asleep after he gives her wisdom, and then she wakes up at the moment this woman dies. Smells it. Sully's in his tighty whities munching on her, which is the first really crazy shot of the movie. That's like where you just got to set the tone for the crazy shots. And it's just like, ugh, and she eats the fucking lady's hand. And then the next shot is an interesting part where Sully goes into his bag and he pulls out a fucking package and it's a bunch of people's hair tied together, which is absolutely disgusting.
Rope of
hair,
braids,
human hair. Yeah.
That he says he started collecting since he was 18 years old, since he was her age.
He's got to be like 65 now. So it's been a
old
while.
Man. So yeah, that was weird. I don't know why he felt it necessary to show her that, but he brought that out, gave it to her. I think he's just telling her, this is kind of how I deal. This is how I do things. You know, you don't have to do it my way, but do you want to stay with me was his next question. And she was like, nah, I don't think so. And then they took a shower and she bounced.
Which the craziest shot in the movie to me is the shot of him on the house ledge looking at her creepy. Through the window. And I was just like, oh my God, that guy was looking at me like that. And then right there, I said to myself, yo, he's going to follow her for sure. Oh, yeah. Like I just
knew
said
she was going to follow her?
Yeah, I was like, he's going to go after her.
I definitely thought we'll see this guy
He's
again.
obsessed with her.
Yeah, I didn't get the obsession right away.
Ominous.
It was definitely ominous, dude. He was standing there like scary. A fucking child of corn.
Yeah, he's scary.
She gets back on the bus and makes her way to I'm thinking of a different
Columbus.
Show. Columbus.
Yeah.
Columbus?
I think that's when she got to Columbus.
Oh yeah. Is that where she go?
Columbus?
Or maybe that was just a stopover. I don't know. But she ended up just somewhere meeting Lee. I don't remember specifically.
Yeah, where she meets Chalamet.
So she goes before she goes again. If you look back here, before she goes again, she stops at a convenience store, a grocery store, to steal tampons. And as she's stealing tampons and some body wash, a guy comes around the corner and he's like insulting this lady. And she was like, hey, don't talk to the lady like that. And before that guy could react to her, old Chalamet in the distance is like, yo, you out of hand, man. But before that, we see them see each other. Or was that like right when he says that we see them see each other? And you can kind of tell, maybe.
I think it was right before that. Like
maybe there's a smell.
They kind of just met eyes. Yeah.
So,
and then she just continued to steal.
He steals the guy's hat. She bounces out of there with her tampons and body wash. And she's walking around the corner and she is following. I think she's following the smell, right? It seems like she's like following the scent, and she sees Chalamet come out with the guy's hat on and the guy's bag covered in blood. Obviously, this dude's also an eater. She's found 2 of them now.
Like they're just attracted to each other like magnets.
You think so? Or you think they're just so abundant?
That's the thing. It's like, which one is it? It's interesting though. Super interesting to me, because that would be crazy if you just realized. What would be wild and what could have been cool in this movie is if someone that she knew, I guess she doesn't really know many people though because she moves around, but someone that she knew really well was also an eater and she found out. That would have been kind of crazy.
That was a thing I think that the Sullivan said to her early on. It was like, you probably met people that you know that are also eaters that you just they just didn't tell you or you didn't know. But now you can smell them like a troll.
Okay, so now what? Continue, Jake.
They meet.
Yeah, they pretty much meet. She seems like she clearly needs help with this whole situation. She's broke and he's just kind of like like seemingly a nice guy, and she recognizes that since he basically defended that mother in the store. And they take the dude's truck because he's dead, and there's
According to
no
Jake,
pictures
that's
of
not stealing.
Yeah, who are you stealing from? Who owns it? No one owns it now.
You don't own it though. That's what makes it stealing.
Finders keepers at that point if no one owns it.
If I was a cop, I'd say, well, you don't own it.
Well, that's
saying neither do you, bro. Give me it back, baby.
This is also the 80s. So
also the cops gonna shoot them both.
80s Midwest.
True.
No one cared.
And you're a Midwest guy.
I'm a Midwest guy.
Chicago.
So, no, Michigan.
Why don't you Chicago back to where you came from? Hey,
get out of here, you Michigan idiot.
Hey. So what happened next? They meet. She hangs out with them. Do they do anything? No, they dance. They dance to "Lick It Up" by Kiss.
They fall in love, dude. This is what the movie's about. The movie's about these two people falling in love and finding each other.
That's the worst part of this movie. The little love montage where they
start cruising around. Yeah, they start cruising around in the back road.
Hold on, let's not gloss over the "Lick It Up" dance sequence. It was good.
Go on.
It's very reminiscent.
That was at the dude's house that they stole the truck from and that he killed.
Yeah. It was very reminiscent of Breakfast Club.
Anymore. Yeah,
kind of dancing around to the music, the hat. I don't know. Seemed 80s to me. Good 80s
for sure.
Good 80s.
And I like what they do with the 80s in this movie. It's not like your typical 80s movie. It's not like all flashy and neon lights and pop culture references. Obviously, the Kiss pop culture reference there, but it wasn't like thick with it like the typical 80s movies would be.
He also has AirPods in, which is not 80s.
Yeah, what's up with that? I was going to ask you guys saw that. What's up with that?
He's got AirPods, dude.
That.
Who gives a shit?
Someone pointed out in something I watched. You guys might know this, but Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross did the soundtrack to this movie. So
I did not know that. The soundtrack did not stand out to me though.
I mean, I can hear them. I can hear them in there.
I get it, but it just I was thinking about that. I was like, soundtrack's not really like standing out in any way. It's not. There was no point where I was just like, "Ooh boy," without the soundtrack.
I feel
shitty, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I remember learning that Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross did it, and then I was like, "Oh, same reaction of like this could have been heavier or something." It did nothing. I don't remember any specific times where it was like, "This is sick, it's a great score." Never. But
I mean, cool. I think the credit you could give them is that the tone all around is always pretty much the same. Like they do make it. You're never like unaware of what's going on in that way, right? I mean, that's at least a good thing to say.
Hey, I don't know. I guess like the cannibal parts could have hit harder
with
like,
the music.
Yeah, maybe. Like I feel like those parts were kind of quiet. Because like Luca Guadagnino, his last movie, Suspiria, that was by Tom York, and that was dope. That was good music. That movie was whatever.
Well, that movie's built on music, a lot of it.
Right. Yeah, and it was all Tom York, which was a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
So if this could have been more of that, maybe. But I don't know. I'm not complaining about it.
It was good music. It just didn't.
Yeah.
Does it stand out as one of their probably like standout soundtracks? No way.
Right. Exactly.
No way. The fact that I was listening to like I watched it twice and at no point I was like, this kind of sounds like TR and AAC AR.
They also have that new Ninja Turtles movie coming out. They did that too.
Cool.
They did the score for that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Killing the game. Did you catch Timothy Chalamet watching professional wrestling, Jake?
Did I? No, I don't know if that really stood out.
I mean,
what part was that in?
It's just kind of. I think it was right after they met. They went to the place. He took a shower. She was taking. She was going to sleep. I think we see her. Maybe she's like having like flashbacks of her dad puking blood or whatever the fuck that was. And it just cuts to Timothy Chalamet watching professional wrestling, like an old match. I can't tell you what it was, but I thought you would be like, oh yeah, I didn't even notice. That was the 84 Rattle of the Bumbles of the fucking Andre
Rattle of the Bumbles.
It's funny because remember how we recently did a creep show and Stephen King was watching wrestling. Do you remember that part at all?
I don't.
There was that Stephen King skit where he like became one with the earth. He was watching wrestling at one point where he was that like farmer kid. Yeah. And then I knew what match that was and I was pretty proud of that, even though it was a 1982 movie. But no, I didn't catch the wrestling in this one.
Never mind then. I'll go fuck
At least it didn't stick with me. I'm sure I noticed that, but I just didn't stick to my memory to it.
It was black and white. It was old. It was probably before your time. Although maybe not.
88. I think this movie was 88.
88? Yeah. What were you, like 16 then?
2 or 3.
Guy 64 years old.
3.
Dude's 68 years old. Looks 40.
All right. Go on.
They danced to Lick It Up and then they cruised around around in the woods, and then they met some other creepy guy that turned out to be another creepy eater who had a non-eater friend that also ate people though, and that upset.
Yeah, that was weird.
Homegirl. Yeah, she was like kind of like.
Wait, who are you talking about? You're talking about Michael Shalman's character, whatever his name is.
No, Michael Stahlberg and
that dude's so good.
David Gordon Green. Yeah,
yeah, that's you talking about.
Yes,
that
Who's
scene was
this
great.
Michael
though.
Stahlberg guy. Have we seen him?
Oh, he's been in everything, dude. He was the dude in Men in Black 3. He was the crazy dude in Men in Black 3.
Yeah.
He was also on fucking Boardwalk Empire as one of the main characters, which is great. He's been in a lot of stuff. He does a lot of those. He does a lot of those like side roles. You know what I mean? He's like a Philip Seymour Hoffman type of guy.
I think we
Sam Rockwell type of guy.
Don't we meet his sister before this, or no? We should meet his sister yet?
Yeah, we met his sister.
Did we meet his sister? Or is it
Yeah,
after this? I feel like it's after this.
Well, they meet, right, and they decide to go on a road trip together and they try to live normal, right? That's what they say they're gonna do. And wait, after we also got to talk about the part in the field where he jerks the guy off and slits his throat. That's kind of like where they bond, I guess.
Still
that's
later.
Too. No, this is.
Keep going.
I think. Oh no, you're right. My bad. Because they go to the restaurant. That's when she has that little kind of looking thing with the girl that was sitting at the table. That in my head I was like, oh, this bitch. I thought that little girl was gonna come and eat her fucking nose off or something, but. Right after that, he was like, "You want to sleep outside?" And that's when they go outside. And they have that little, and they meet those two creepy guys. There's like a little love montage of them cruising around, going state to state, and then they're at the waterfalls, and that's supposedly where those guys smelled them.
Okay, because I remember he was telling her about his sister first before they actually met the sister.
Yeah,
he was like talking as they were like driving around, and that's when they.
I think that's
ran into the weird dudes.
I think that's after the weird.
And then they meet. Then they meet the girls.
The weird dudes weren't like didn't in the middle of the driving around though.
Type shit. They just seemed like some creepy hillbilly guys.
Some creeps.
David Gordon Green looks sinister as fuck when he smiled. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, because he was a cannibal by choice. So
that was
weird. Crazy guy.
That's
crazy
weird.
guy.
That makes him I think that makes him a bad dude. Okay. And they kind of that was I think obviously that was Meryl's thought on the guy because she seemed to be upset like, oh, you do this and you don't have to.
Yeah, she didn't like that.
No, so and
you wouldn't try it though if it was like kind of normal. I guess it's not normal.
I feel like that's like stolen valor. Like I want to walk onto the airplane when they call for like active military people. Like I want to go do that.
You look like a special forces dude for sure.
Yeah,
you do.
Exactly.
You look like you could be
exactly.
like
I could do it.
You be tan and you're Iraqi for sure.
But I'm not going to steal that valor. I'm not going to take that away from them.
No, we wouldn't say that Jake has stolen valor. We wouldn't say that.
No.
I do know other stuff you stole though.
Like
Never.
Schwartz's mom's pussy.
Got him, city.
So creepy guys. Any more to say about the creepy guys? They're bad guys.
Yeah, that whole that was the introduction of the whole bones and all idea.
Oh yeah.
What's up with that? Let's talk about that.
What's going on?
If you eat an entire person, that's sort of like it's almost like a transitional thing. Like I don't know
best
exactly.
thing in the world.
Yeah,
he says it's like your first time. I don't know if that means sex or
eat an entire person.
You got to eat the bones and all. That was you saying.
A bone though.
You just do it when with those people. Those people know how to do it. They got stronger jaws.
You grind it into a paste.
Good smell and strong jaws.
Those guys are not grinding shit in the paste. Promise you that.
Well, then they're just banging them they're just banging them on rocks and putting them in their mouth. You eat the bone marrow.
Somehow
bones
they do it. I don't know how they just do. I don't know. The real question is how do they not completely fill up and explode with an entire person inside of you?
Yeah, you got to start
You're
small.
Just gonna poop
you
out
eat like a
bones
toddler.
Are you like eating that over like a season, like you would like a deer after hunting? Like
that's a good question. He didn't say
like,
eat
tonight
it all
we're
in
gonna
one
eat the toddler shoulders followed by the toddler toe.
Maybe
sitting felt implied.
Did it?
It felt to me it did, but I could be wrong. It just
I don't
felt
think
that
it
way.
felt implied as much as maybe that's just what I kind of thought right off the bat. But I don't think that like thinking about it, he didn't imply it in any way. Maybe just keep it in the freezer or eat it over a year. You could probably eat it in less than a month, to be honest. Like a 100-pound person. Here's the question.
Sure.
Yeah.
What if you ate a baby? It's a lot less, a lot easier, and depending on how young the baby is, the bones are like not even formed.
That'd be like eating like a rotisserie
I'll eat a baby
chicken,
first for sure. I would try a baby first if I was gonna do it.
Bones and all. Does that count though? Because it's more like cartilage and all.
I mean, he's got bones in there, so
I don't know. I think that's I mean, every eater's got a code. I don't imagine a baby fits into anyone's code very well.
You think Rylance is eating babies?
I don't know.
Sully?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
But
Man.
Sully, he's not a good dude.
Sully's
If the
eating
baby
anything.
dies,
Clearly
if
doing some fucked up shit.
He doesn't kill the baby. What is he doing that's fucked up? He just did that one fucked up thing with her because he got a little wild.
No,
she was playing him a little bit. She was teasing.
There was an implication at
was
the end that you may have
never
looked.
doing
There was an implication
never
at the
doing
end that
that.
you may have overlooked.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There was something at the end that you may have overlooked.
At the end. At
At the end, the very end.
Yeah, when her titties were out and she was sitting on the cliff.
A little before that.
Cliff
Okay,
titties.
that's the end. So
Okay, so that last scene, when she pulls out Sully's hair deal, when Sully's dead and Timothy Chalamet's bleeding out,
yeah,
she pulls that shit
and
out.
we see
a blonde hair is at
Which
the very
is-
end, implying
Sister?
that was Timothy Chalamet's sister.
yes.
So he
I
pretty
didn't
much
miss
followed
that.
her there.
I
Well,
missed that
he
both
clearly
times.
did something wrong there. It seemed like as if he followed her and killed her.
But I think that's all because of her. I think he got a little wild with her. He got a little obsessed. And so, like, I think up until that point, he's been trying to live kind of a humble,
Up until that
old,
point where he was
righteous. Trying to live righteous.
righteous cannibal lifestyle. He
I don't
he
buy it.
can't control his urges.
Head of the union
He's
type of guy.
addicted. He doesn't have a good sponsor. He ate him.
This guy's eating people.
He called the lady a cunt.
Yeah.
That's not a gentleman.
Well, let's get
It
to
was
that scene. Are
all
we there yet?
it's all because of his obsession with her.
Are we at that part where he calls her a
He's in
cunt? That was a great
love.
scene.
Not yet.
Get there. Hurry up.
Get there. Oh, no,
I don't even know where we are. We got the bones and all guys.
Let's go
yeah, that's where we are.
to the call. He meets the sister. They go to the sister.
the
Like,
sister,
oh, what's up,
blah, blah,
sister?
blah.
Whatever. Worst actor in the whole
Yeah.
movie. Maybe the worst actor in the world.
That was kind of a boring scene. The sister stuff is kind of boring.
She came in. She was like, I can't believe what you do. You're just like dad. And she kept like touching her fucking hair, like making it like, look at my hair because you're going to see it later. It was so bad. It was so bad. I wanted to cut the filming and just be like,
Hair
no,
foreshadowing.
cut. I wanted to yell, but it didn't work. Thank God she died.
It just helped Chalamet's character seem like more of a good dude because he
You're
was
right.
like keeping promises to his younger sister, things like that.
I just wish it was like it was a Breslin or something,
Yeah, she wasn't an exciting character.
or a Fanning.
So let's breeze over her. They go.
I mean, she's important, but yeah,
At this
she's
point,
got a blonde ponytail. Wink,
at
wink.
this point, they're cruising around and they're getting hungry. They're getting hungry for the good.
Yeah.
And take it to Timothy Chalamet, since he's got the code. He goes cruising. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and they're at a carnival, hanging out at a carnival
he goes,
right now.
He goes cruising at a
It
carnival,
was a little cruise.
looking for dudes to do stuff with.
They also stole a bunch of cash earlier on, but that's fine.
They did? Who they steal cash from?
The slaughterhouse when they first start making out
well,
with the cows.
That's deserving. Then they had that really good scene about how you got to think about a cow's family and their friends and how they
I
have
don't think that happened.
feelings, and they talked about that.
This was not a
I think that's
vegan. I don't think veganism had anything to do with this movie.
I guess the book was like very heavy on that theme, but this movie wasn't as much.
They were
It's
probably
supposedly
like, there's
the
only
book is
one
heavy.
uninteresting part of this book. Let's cut that out and make
Yeah,
this
just-
movie great.
Yeah, they just went from vegan to gay. It's not a big deal. It's fine.
It's fine.
Both
That's
would have
what
been
Jake
both.
did.
I'd
Both
rather
would
be
have been. Both would have been good.
Got him.
Gotham City, baby.
Gotham City.
Bruce Wayne, baby.
All right,
All
let's
right,
go.
it's far too much celebrating.
Let's go, Robin. It was good. He was quick. He was quick with it. That was
Funny.
good. That's comedy right there, Jake. Learn from it.
Set you up.
You
Yeah, it was
did.
a fucking,
You
you're like
set it
Dennis
up.
Rodman out there, and I was like Michael Jordan. It was great.
I don't follow baseball.
Here's the layup.
Yep.
Anywho,
Anyway.
he meets a dude. He sees a dude at a carnival being a dick to kids, basically, like
Which
talking
is
shit
great.
to
I love
kids.
that. Just a
It was
classic
kind of
comedy.
funny. Kind of gives him a read. Starts shooting some balls himself. There's some flirty vibes between the two, and he's like, "All right, it's gonna be this guy. He's a dick.
Well, he kept handing him
And-
more balls.
I can probably give this guy a hand job." So good target. He's like, so back in an hour. My luck's not gonna end, isn't it? He's like, I'll see to it it doesn't.
Yeah, he goes, I got a little weed in my car. You want to come jerk me off?
Yep, verbatim.
Did he really say that?
I mean,
No,
it's more
he
or
said he
less.
had weed in his car and winked at him.
Yeah.
and everyone knows what that means.
And then he pulled his dick out. He goes, you jerk this.
It'd be one of this.
So old Timmy and Meryl hang out in the parking lot and
Listening
wait for
to
the
Daddy these
come
notes.
out.
Did we talk about like the tape? Like,
Oh no, we didn't really get there.
really?
Yeah, we didn't really fully embrace that.
Go ahead.
Tape's good. Tape's the
Tell us
background
about it. It's a
story
banger,
of
for
her.
sure.
It's basically like a little narration. It kind of comes in throughout the movie of him telling the early cases of her early on, like her eating like a babysitter. Was that what it was?
3 years old. They came home.
Yeah, 3. Yeah,
She was 3 years old. She was fast asleep with the babysitter's ear in her mouth. I think the babysitter was dead.
Yeah. So that was the first thing that happened, and I think it was just he came home because the mom left after she was born, pretty much right away.
Yeah.
And that was part of the. I think that was part of the whole thing as well.
Mommy doesn't care.
Mommy don't care. And then like another time was something like a boy went missing in wherever they lived, so they had to peace out again.
Yep.
And I think that was all that happened. I don't really remember.
Maybe that was it. Yeah.
So it was a while, and then I think it was that heist the girl on the under the table, and then Sully, and then so it's only been a few times so far. So she's still
Also,
learning.
he told her where her mom is, right? He says you should go see your mom or the letters or
No, he didn't say. He didn't say where it was on the birth certificate. Is where the mother was born. Like also the mother's like.
Are we at that point yet? When does that happen?
Pretty much right after this, I want to say, because this is kind of when things start going downhill a little. I mean, for a cannibal movie, it was kind of nice, and it went from like horror movie to like love story, kind of like in a quick shift when she met Chalamet. It seemed. Did you guys have that vibe?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It was like Attack of the Clones, you know?
Padme and Anakin, baby.
Just a little love
story
montage, dude. Skipping rocks on beaches and fucking spooning in the wheat.
Killing younglings.
We get back to the dude jerking off in the woods.
So yeah, I mean
that's where we were. Timothy
it's
Chalamet.
in corn.
Yeah. Sorry, in a cornfield. Timothy Chalamet jerks the dude off to completion in the cornfield, and then stabs him. And this is like as Meryl's like walking through through the corn trying to find him, and then she sees that
he's been gone
and
too
then they
long.
eat. Yeah,
it's because he's HJing him and not BJing him.
Right, he's probably not good at it.
He was also left-handing it. I don't know if Chalamet is left-handed or if Lee, the character that Chalamet plays, is left-handed, but I would notice that he was left-handing the reach around, and then I wonder if it was because he wanted to use his right hand to kill.
That's my thought right there.
Is that what you would do?
I think you got to be more confident with the kill than the jerk off. Like, you know, if you're gonna take it, you know, whatever, you got to do it with your left hand, you got to do it with your left hand.
The guy was like, "Yo, you got to go faster. This ain't doing it." He kept saying that. He did keep saying that. And subtitles on the second
that makes sense. That makes sense. Like, I'm stronger with my right hand, but I could still finish with my left hand. I think easily.
I've never jerked off with my left hand.
I could definitely finish a dude off with my left hand.
I mean, I've seen it.
He's never jerked off with his left hand, but he's jerked off with my left hand.
Oh, got him, City.
Got him. I've jerked
So it probably took him longer than when he does it with your right hand, right? Anyway, that's what happened in this movie. And then they ate the dude. And then they come to find out that this dude had kids and a wife and all that stuff. And then they were like, fuck.
Because the move is kill the dude, eat the dude, steal the dude's car, take it to the dude's house and hang out there until you got to kill the dude, eat the dude. So, but it does seem like they don't have to do it every day. It's like a monthly thing, maybe.
Yeah, it seems to be at least a couple weeks or something like that. That seems to be when they're getting hungry again.
Mm-hmm. They didn't really specify. Not that it matters.
It's pretty open.
You're pretty open.
Oh yeah.
So
then what happens? Yeah, and then is that when they go to the mom? Pretty much.
She kind of freaks out. They go to the gas. Like she's driving and they go to the gas. Oh no, he's still with her. She hasn't left him yet. She leaves him after his mom. So they drive to the grandma's house, and she's like, "I'm going to talk to grandma." And he's like, "You want me to come?" She's like, "No, I've seen you jerk a dude off. I don't want you around me anymore." She goes up
verbatim.
Yo,
how
the
funny
coverage
would it be if she was like, "Nah, if I need somebody to jerk him off, I'll call you."
And then she meets the grandma and signals him in, whistles him in, like fucking Michelle. The coverage in this scene I thought was great. In the kitchen when she's standing against, and I also thought the grandma was awesome. I thought she was great for her small role. Whoever she is, she killed the game.
Yeah.
But they're standing in the kitchen. And there's just a lot of profile shots. The shot of them sitting at the table, there's like, I don't know, it was just interesting. There's a door in the way. Like anyone, you would have moved that door out of the way, but they didn't. It was just a door kind of in the way of the shot.
It's art, dude.
It's great. I loved it. I'm not talking shit.
I know. I'm just saying.
You don't know art.
Fucking love that door, dude.
Arthur, no magnets
door.
on the fridge. I was just like, this is interesting. What a choice.
Yeah, it's cool.
And what did we learn
From the grandma? We learned that she was adopted. She was found in the mom was adopted, found behind a sheriff's department. We learned that she's dead, or she's quote unquote no longer with us, according to the grandma.
Out of the picture. Don't ask.
We learned, and then she was leaving. She was like, "Yo, was my mom ever violent?" To the grandma, and the grandma was like, "Yo, no. Like, I don't want to answer that question because there's a lot of fucked up shit." Blah blah blah. And then she goes, "Why don't you go ask her?" She was like, "I thought she was dead." She's like, "She's not dead. She's just in this hospital in fucking Via de los Muertos, like 4 hours away or something." She checked herself into a hospital. So that's where they go next. This movie's really
good. And then this is my second favorite scene in the movie up to this point, which is where she encounters her mom, and she's just this mute fucking handless lady sitting in a fucking room with a bed and a sink.
We're back into very horror-y vibes too. I think when she walks into this like insane asylum, essentially, we have this kind of very like pitching, dutching horror zoom shot, and then she's coming through. The orderly's like, "Oh, that's crazy. I never seen this lady's daughter before, but we've been expecting you." And they go.
Also, it's like, this is the first time she's going to meet her mom. She has no idea if her mom knows anything about like being an eater. And she realizes right away that her mom's like what she doesn't want to be. She's everything she doesn't want to be is what her mom is.
Mom's exactly what she was kind of expecting, maybe. Just not hoping for.
The hand thing's pretty great visually. That was pretty gross.
Did she eat her hands off? I think she said that. Or did she just cut them off?
I think she
or was it just implied?
When I saw
she said that.
I was like, oh shit, they cut her hands off so that she would stop fucking eating people, and then they just sedate her, and now she's chill.
I think she ate him
because she was like, "Is my mom violent?" And the orderly was like, "Nah, she used to be, but she's cool now." And we're like, "Oh shit, why is she cool now? Well, what happened? What did she do?" And then we see she comes around the corner, she ain't got no arms,
and she's also it's Chloe Sevigny, the great Chloe Sevigny,
looking scary as fuck.
Looking scary terrible. As fuck, dude. Terrible. So she goes in, she's like, "Hey, it's me. I'm your daughter," and she can't even talk. She's so doped up. But the orderly's like, "Yo, I got this letter for you," and she wrote her a letter. Anybody? No, nobody wants to take over.
And what it was basically that she was an eater too. Is that basically what it revealed?
Well,
did you not watch this movie, Jake?
Yeah,
I don't remember the specifics of the letter.
This letter's pretty hardcore.
Yeah, basically it says like,
or how it ended because it was shocking.
If she's there, it's because her dad told her what he promised the mother he would never tell her, which is that who she was and where she is, because then she would know that she is also an eater.
She's a fucking cannibal.
Ate her hands off and basically probably realized that she probably tried to kill her too at one point, so that's why she left, so that she didn't have to do that.
Yeah, and she was like, "I don't know if you guys would have even been safe around me," and she said I would have killed myself, but I knew that one day you would come, or I was hoping one day you would come, so I stayed not killing myself. I didn't kill myself.
Yeah, she just stayed sedated with no arms in her room.
And she said all she wanted to do in this world was love and to be loved. That's all she wanted to do, and she realized she can't do it, and that's why she is the way she is in the place that she's at. And she said that she's happy the daughter came because this world full of love doesn't need any more monsters, and she's gonna help with that, and she tries to kill her daughter. That's what happens. That's a big
Jake.
That fucking letter was heavy, dude. At the end she was like, "And I'm gonna help you with that," and she's like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And she like tries to bite her fucking neck out.
Yeah,
too bad she didn't have hands.
Timed it all cool, like waited till she was like probably read it in her head.
I'm not gonna lie, I was like, this bitch, how does this bitch know when she's done reading the letter? Like
I thought the same thing, but I think at that point she had put the letter down and was realizing what she was saying. I think she could see it in her. She was waiting for it, anticipating it. it, and then she realized and that was it. It was like, and she's there. You can see it in her face. I think you can see it in her face.
The way they did it with her reading it, Chloe sitting
then showing
it,
her.
reading it, and showing her, and she wasn't even really looking down at it. It was just all very kind of it was just more of an interpretation of her reading the letter. I liked it. I liked it a lot. So we didn't need that. We didn't need to know how she was. That was just an epic moment right there. And then the movie plummets from here.
All right. Well,
it just I don't know about plummets, but definitely slows down because then it just kind of gets a little more sad because
once Pony Boy comes back in, it's great. But
this scene is essentially her like, oh, this is the life. This sucks. This is gonna be fucking shitty. And then Timothée Chalamet is sort of like, deal with it. Like, it's good that she's here. You wouldn't be alive if she wasn't here, probably. So maybe this is for the best, and this is the life we're living. This is the life we have to deal with. He even says something along the lines of like, you either off yourself, you eat, or you lock yourself in a place up like this.
Or you live.
Who said that? Rylance or Chalamet?
The villain. Chalamet says that.
Chalamet said that.
Yeah, because didn't they get into it about like eating people they know with like families and wives and kids and shit? That's like something they talk about at one point.
Well, I think she brings up that guy that had a family, and he's just like, well, what the fuck? It was, my bad.
He's like, I didn't fucking mean to.
Well, no, he had legitimate reasons. He was like, first of all, he didn't have a wedding ring. Second of all, he didn't have a car seat. So like he definitely looked for those things.
Yeah, he meant well.
I don't think he really looked for those things. I think they just.
I think like
that
they
before
do.
They
No,
went back to the house because he just took him into the cornyard and jerked him off.
No, the dude. Oh wait, so hold on a second. The dude he jerked off was the dad of those people.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that makes it even crazier. I didn't realize that.
He jerked that dude off. They took his car to his house, and when he went to his house, they saw that he had a wife and kids.
Oh shit!
So they left the car there, took the thing, and that's when they went to grandma's house, and then they went to mom's house.
And that's when Chalamet accidentally broke his code. He got sloppy for,
It was an accident.
It was an accident. Because he probably did look for a wedding ring, like things like that, but the dude wasn't wearing one.
Yeah. And you're right.
I don't know,
They certainly didn't know that going to his house. They wouldn't have gone if they knew that.
They basically knew this guy was a dick and he's got to die. Someone's got to die.
Got to be him. Die.
But yeah, he fucked up with the wife and kids thing. And like I said, that's when things kind of start going down because then that's the thing with the whole mother thing happens. And I think this is when she basically just takes off.
She bounces again. That's kind of her move. Once things aren't going the way she wants it, she's like Schwartz at a party. She just kind of does this, goes out of there.
Audi 5000, my friend.
No goodbyes.
No goodbyes.
Yeah.
Peace out, Cub Scout.
Timmy's sleeping in the car, and she's like, I'm gonna go get gas, and
she
walks away.
Left the money and run.
She gives him the money, which is cool.
Yeah. She ain't trying to fuck him. She's just trying to get the fuck out of there. She's got shit to figure out. She got demons, dude. She's eating people. She doesn't know why. She met her mom. She's fucking armless,
Tried to eat her.
She's not harmless. She's armless.
She's not a harmless. She's an harmless.
But this is then what? She like kind of goes around. Where does she even go? She then runs back into Chalamet's sister for some reason. I think, does she go find her, or does she just run into her? Or why is she even?
No, I think she just
she goes
runs
to see
into
her.
She runs into Sully at first. I think I don't think that her originally was going to go see the sister. I think she just was leaving, and then she runs into Sully because it's not too long before that, or there's not too much time between her leaving to her running into Sully. Like Sully's
she's walking down the road. Because Chalamet kind of looks for her and then gives up and goes away, and then she's walking down the road and Sully drives by. And in my head, I was like, "Oh, crazy! Sully was just driving by." But no, he'd been following her for weeks. He's been following her.
Yeah, and he admits it too. He even said he's been watching from afar, but he's not. It's rude to interrupt, and he was with her, so
he's like, I didn't want to be weird about it, so I just didn't say anything.
Watch from afar, and she's like, it's been a kind of way. He's like, not that weird. It's only been like a couple weeks, so
yo, Sully, dude,
not weird to drive around the country.
Get your plane out of my Hudson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let me think. Let me ask you this. Actually, I don't think he was sexually after her. I honestly think he just wanted her companionship as like someone that he could like teach wisdom to and experience things with and kind of like die next to. I really don't think he was trying to bang her. Do you?
Not necessarily. I didn't really see that. I feel like he just wanted a companionship too. He was almost like wanted to teach or wanted to be almost like a father figure.
Yeah.
Which makes it
even more like kind of sad. Like that's all he was looking for.
He just wanted someone, and then necessarily get rapey vibes from him.
No, I didn't either.
Clearly a weirdo. I'm sure.
But I definitely, I did. I definitely got like it puts the lotion on the skin vibes.
Yeah.
He's like, well, you ever ever meet anyone that you just know it just fits? And she's like, yeah, but it's got to go both ways.
Yeah.
Fucking creepy.
It ain't you, man.
Yeah, nah.
That's when he calls her a cunt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
then he gets
He
mad.
gets real mad about it.
You know, rightfully so. She's a tease.
She was not teasing nothing.
I'm kidding. Comedy.
Yeah.
Just joking.
Jokes.
We got jokes
He gets
here.
mad about it.
Got jokes here. What do you think? We're fucking journalists? We're joking.
Message.
All right, what do you rate
All
this
right,
movie?
anyway.
Oh, wait,
No, we gotta hurry up though. We're going long.
you're going
Yeah,
long.
it's Chalamet. He's and then
Chalamet
she
goes
leaves,
long, dude.
goes back to Chalamet is sad. He goes home. Marin finds him at his hometown.
So Sully
finds him there.
Calling her a cunt triggered her to go back to.
I think she
I
felt
guess.
safe having somebody. I think she felt safe having a companion. Without somebody, I think you're just so out in the open, especially as a female.
But
Yeah.
that is what it seemed like. There wasn't much time between her
Because then
leaving
she
and then her
shows up
going
with
back.
her sister, like the sister. He like the
Yeah,
next scene is
she
her.
she
hanging out
finds
with
the sister,
with Kayla.
and then they go back and they all.
Anyway, they find each other again and they
rejoin each
decide
other.
they're gonna live a normal life and they move into an apartment together.
We're just gonna drive
they live
somewhere
happily ever
until
after. They
we
have a
run out
kid.
of gas and stay.
Yeah, they're like, we're not gonna eat anybody. We're just gonna do it.
And everyone seems to be good for a while. Everyone seems to be
A
cool.
lot of great cinematography, Terrence
What's-
Malick moments.
What's her face is gonna come visit
DMMs.
them at their new job in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Who?
But
Oh, Kayla.
Kayla, the
If she
sister,
can make
they,
it,
they,
if
they
she can
plan
make it.
to
Yeah,
they
yeah.
plan for her to visit. But guess who shows up? Old Sully, and he fucking
Yeah, she
freaks
comes
out.
home. She comes home one day and she's like, baby, where are you? Where are you, Mr. Chalamet? Chalamet. And she's looking, she's like, Chalamet. And
Chalamet.
she sees the briefcase or like the satchel with the hair, fucking the rope of hair in it, and she knows something's going wrong. Something's up.
Well, at that point, the whole audience knows what the fuck's up.
It's Sully.
We're in her head right now. It's scary. Sully's up.
Out of her head, bro.
Everybody knows it's Sully.
That's it.
Okay,
what?
so-
he picks her up, throws her on the bed, and he got a knife to her neck and says, "You could have just been my friend, but now I'm gonna kill you." And then Chalamet comes in and jumps on him, puts a bag over his head. He stabs
Okay.
Chalamet.
Okay, hold on though. This is the one part of the movie that I hated because in this movie, Chalamet has shown up until this moment to be a pretty smart dude when it comes to subduing people, when it comes to taking people down, when it comes to doing things. But instead of hitting this guy over the head with something, he just decides to fucking
Put a Ralph's
take a bag
over his
and
head.
try to fucking suffocate him. Which like this dude might have been 65 years old, but he's definitely bigger than Chalamet. Chalamet is like 125 pounds soaking wet. This fucking old guy's probably like 150, 160 pounds. You know what I mean? He's got weight. Either way, it was the wrong move. Like the way he did this pissed me off because it just seems so unlike them, and so just like because it had to end this way, which I hated.
You're
I mean,
right.
he
but
had
yeah,
a
it is-
knife.
It is because it wouldn't have led to the ending that we got,
Yeah, 100%.
and that was just what it was.
Ba,
But
ba,
yeah,
ba, ba.
usually a knife to the throat seemed to be doing the trick with other
Yeah,
people.
or a fucking bat to the back of the head. That's like
Yeah,
done,
even
you're
if he
done.
just started jerking him off, I'm sure that would have slowed things down a little bit.
Oh, Sully.
Sully might have liked it.
Oh, he would definitely would have liked
Sully
it.
likes it.
You just need that. But
Chris?
it's Sully. That's me. So he stabs him, but then they kill Sully, right?
Yeah, that
They
seems
kill
crazy.
Sully,
like,
but now without him getting a knife wound in Chalamet's
mortally
chest.
wounding Shyamalan
mortal.
or Chalamet.
Shalaman.
Shamalama Ding Dong.
They drag his body to the
She
bathtub.
says to him, "I can see air coming out of it.
Yeah,
I have to
got
get to
your
the hospital." I was
lungs.
like, "Ugh."
And he goes, "No, I don't want to go to the hospital. You just eat me."
And he's alive when she starts to eat him. too.
Yeah.
So she ate him bones and all. Is that what we're supposed to have?
It's implied. There's a lot of implications in this movie, but this
So
was
how-
implied
what do you-
because
what do
he's
you
like
guys-
bones and all.
What do you guys get in the ending? What do you guys get from the ending? What happened there? What's going on?
I think you got to find your way in this world, and you got to eat some people to get there.
No, I mean literally, like what was going on in the ending? Because he's dying. She starts munching down on him, and then it cuts to her, and her cradling him on. Like,
I think
the
that was
Grand
just
Canyon.
a flashback of their. I think the flashback of their trip at some
That was a
point. Just start
flashback?
remembering that.
Yeah, I think that's all it was. Just a
That's what I took
flashback
from
to
it.
them being together, kind of like implying that they'll always be together now.
Like a visual
Because she
journal
ate 'em.
entry. It's like a journal entry, but visual.
I think that is. I think that was how she felt after eating him, bones and all. Was like the first time she had sex with him. Which
Yeah,
was that
it's
moment.
another
Maybe maybe
it's
that moment.
It's a good read.
Say that again.
It was the bones and all, eating him bones and all was orgasmic, or if better than orgasmic, reminded her of that. That's how she felt after eating him, is what I'm saying. It was like she was on top of the world.
It's perfect. Yeah. It's
Post
euphoric.
coitus.
Didn't he say that? He said it was like a drug. Like you were.
It was like a drug. It was like he said it was like it's like your first time, which is like, you know.
Okay.
It's a good read. Makes sense.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's wild. So she ate him bones.
So what do you guys rate this movie?
I'm gonna give it a 7-7.
7-7. Damn. Okay.
I think it's strong, not too wild out of the park. Had its flaws, but I thought overall it was a very good movie, very unique movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Dope. I gave it a 6.3, but then I raised it to a 6.6 because I watched it again, and the cinematography kind of moved me. In the first one, watching it and thinking about the cinematography as an afterthought, I was like, I don't know. Nothing ever stood out at me. Watching it again and thinking of that, you know, while watching it, I was like, these are fucking pretty great shots. So I bumped it up a point.
Cinematography was really good. I think the way this dude tells stories is pretty great. He's definitely like poetic, like Terrence Malick, you know what I mean? But in a dark and more vicious way. He likes to crank it up when it comes to grossness a lot and like connections between people, whether it be good or bad, which is fun. I thought she was amazing. She's a great actor.
She's great.
She killed it. Great part. Had some. Rylance was great.
You know, I thought Chalamet was great too, and I didn't think I liked Chalamet. I went into this movie not thinking I was gonna hate it just all the way through because I thought it was just gonna be more of a love story. I forgot that there was cannibalism in it, which always ups the ante for me. And I went into it thinking, God, I think Timothée Chalamet sucks, and I watched him, and he's great. He's fucking great.
Surprises me. He's good. I think he's like next Leo vibes.
Is this his best role?
It's probably my favorite movie he's been in. I think he's had some good roles. I mean, Dune was good. Don't Look Up was good, but this was not the lead, but this was definitely a big role.
He was in another movie by this director called Call Me by Your Name with Armie Hammer.
And Armie Hammer, the cannibal, he inspired this story.
Yeah.
Speaking of
this is all based on Armie Hammer's experiences.
Shout out Armie, R.I.P.
What was your score, Jake Schwartz?
I'm gonna go 7.0.
Damn, 7.0. We're all within.
I think if you cut
average.
15 minutes out of this movie, it would be a 7.6.
Oh, what 15 minutes would you cut out?
Anything with the blonde sister and probably 10 minutes of like driving around.
I think that's pretty fair. I agree with that. I would that would be my only complaint on my like second viewings or third viewings, is it just felt long. Just kind of took its time and felt a little long. And like I said before, the Kaylee stuff is kind of meh. I guess it helps the Chalamet's character, but overall it was kind of meh.
I think people who like movies would love this movie. That would just be something like, at least with the one time. The first time's pretty great. I liked it a lot the first time.
It's very surprising.
It didn't feel
unique.
long the first time to me.
No,
it didn't really feel long. Second time it felt long. Second time it felt very long.
I agree.
Especially
I agree with everything.
Knowing nothing about it was a fun watch.
And set in the 80s, convenient enough to take away all the modern necessities of life-saving things.
Especially like in the Midwest, it's just a very like simple place. It doesn't have to be like ritzy or fancy in the city or anything like that. It's just like the mundane life that they have to live and deal with.
Simple.
Yeah, no, it set the setting and set the tone pretty goddamn well. I read about how like him and the production designer and the DP just like took a road trip to all the places they wanted to go, and then they just picked places on the way.
It is a very road trippy movie. They're in a lot of states.
Yeah. This dude's on fire. He's got like 2 other movies coming out soon too. Guadagnino.
Nice. Oh, he's got one with like Zendaya, and it's like a weird tennis movie.
Yeah.
But a love triangle.
Yeah.
That looks interesting.
Also, Suspiria is a great film. If you guys haven't seen that, it's pretty great.
So check it out. Check all this guy's things out, dude.
It was on my list to give you to watch, but Jake picked this one.
Bummer. I'm glad I watched this movie. Suspiria is a movie that I think I'll watch on my own eventually, and this movie I definitely would not have popped on without.
Yeah, it was a good
guys
watch.
Making me watch movies in this episode of Making Me Watch Bones and All.
See ya.